Wow, that's a hard question. I don't know. Losing your breath when you see someone, undying devotion for something, the same kind of feeling that you feel for your immediate family.
Love's a good thing, I think.
Probably just when you care about someone and you want to do things for them that'll make them happy and you care about them and you trust them and you respect them.
When two people can't get enough of each other.
You know, the Jewish people, we taught the world this concept, v'yahavta l'reyacha kamocha. All over the world, people are talking about love your neighbor as yourself. If you ask any Westerner, comes from England, comes from America, comes from Australia, comes from Germany, comes from Russia, should you love nice neighbors? They've been taught. It's widespread. They say, yes, you should. Is it a good thing to do, to love nice neighbors? It's a good thing to do. Is it the right thing to do? It's the right thing to do. Then if you ask him, so tell me, can I obligate you to love someone? Obligation? You can't obligate me to love. They don't realize that there's a contradiction. On the one hand, they're saying it's the right thing to do, and you got to do the right thing. It's an obligation. It's a good thing to do, and you got to do the good. You can't do the bad things. And it's something that you should do, which means it's an obligation. But you can't obligate me. It's the right thing. It's a good thing. You should do it. You can't obligate me. In Judaism, we say it's an obligation. It's one of the 613 commandments. It's considered one of the main commandments. Love your neighbor as yourself.
Love is when, I don't know, I've never been in love. Yeah. I can't say.
Love is a relationship that's built over time.
Love is giving of yourself to others.
Love is an industry. Love is a poem. Love is an ocean. Love is a universe.
I suggest you consider, if you had 2 kids, you might have 2 kids, maybe 4, maybe 5, yeah. But if you have 2 kids, is it possible that one day one of them is going to say, I hate my sister, I hate my brother? And what are you going to say? Well, it happens. You hate, so okay, so you hate. You're going to say, don't talk like that. You say, I'm only telling you the truth. But you got to love a sister. How can I love a brat like that? Don't talk that way. I'm only telling you the truth. But you know that it's wrong. You got to love a sister, you got to love a brother, and it's going to bother the heck out of you. But they're going to tell you, how can I love them? You have to know how to teach them.
I want to know what love is. Love is, I don't know. Love is everything.
Love is the ability to go out of your way for someone else, even when you don't feel like going out of your way for them.
We're still in conflict. This is a 3,000-year struggle between us and the Greeks. Western culture is a struggle between Judaic values and Greek values. So you know what the Greek concept of love is? People don't even realize that they're being brainwashed, but it's there. All the time, it's beating on your head, and it makes an impression. So what's the Greek concept of love? You see this young man is looking at this young lady, and this guy Cupid, he flits by, the little guy with the wings, yeah? And he has a bow and arrow, and he hits you. You're in love. You're in love. You're in love. If you're for it, you're in love. So what do? You get married. You have a couple of kids. You got a lot of debt. You got 2 cars. You're working late at night with your secretary. This bum Cupid sneaks up and he shoots you again. Now you're in love with the secretary. You come home and you say, what can I do, honey? I fell in love. In Judaism we say, no such thing. Love is an obligation. And the Greeks say love is Cupid. So now you tell me, how in the world can you obligate me to find? I don't even know where the guy lives. And I don't know what he takes. So how can it? Now, you have to check it out. Who do you believe? The Greeks or our forefathers? Yeah?
Love is sharing, caring.
Love is something you can't explain. If you love someone, and you feel it and you know.
First thing, in order to know how to love, you're going to have a definition. You say, what do you mean a definition? A Cupid's arrow, what do you define? Yeah, it's an obligation. In order to fulfill an obligation, you have to have a what. What is it you got to do? How do you do something if you don't know what you got to do? So, check it out. You know that there's a definition. How do you know that there's a definition? So, my friend, do you love your father? Yes, I do. Do you love your mother? Yes, I do. Do you love your sister? Yes, I do. Do you love your brother? Yes, I do. Do you love the mechanic that ripped you off? No, I don't. Do you love the banker who charges you for transactions you haven't even begun? No, I don't. Well, do you bafoofstick your father? Bafoofstick, what's that? B-A-F-O-O-F-S-T-O-C-K. I don't know what you're talking about. Well, just tell me, do you or don't you? I can't tell you, I don't know what you're talking about. But you told me you love your father. That means you have a concept. You know what I'm talking about.
Love is when you have a trusting relationship with someone else.
Love is an English muffin on a rainy Sunday morning.
It's that feeling of supreme pleasure.
So let us tell you the Jewish definition of love, and you check it out whether that's what you mean. The Jewish definition of love is, it's an emotion. You all agree it's an emotion, it's a feeling. It's an emotion of pleasure. When you look at your kids, you look at the people you love, it can bring pain, but it's an emotion basically of pleasure. It's the greatest pleasure we have, it's our children. We get married because we're in love, it's a pleasure. So it's an emotion of pleasure that we human beings have when we see. See means appreciate, understand, perceive. A virtue. Virtue is anything gorgeous, strong, meaningful in another human being, and we identify that human being with his virtue. So the easiest love of all is children. So you ask a guy, why do you love your children? He'll give you everything in the sun. He's intelligent, he's full of life, he's mischievous, he's got a sense of humor, everything under the sun. You say, well, isn't it true that his nose is always running? Come on, what's the matter with you? That's the way you judge a kid? We'll have him cauterized. I mean, he'll grow out of it. Well, isn't it true that he's a spoiled little brat? You can't say, I love him, the spoiled brat, I love him. You can't say, I love a fault. You say, he's only young, we spoiled him. You excuse his fault and you focus on his virtue. When you hate someone, you focus on his faults. Why do you hate that guy? Well, he's a double-crossing, he's a selfish boor, he's a dishonest liar, cheat. Well, isn't it true that the guy is good-looking? He's always, so well-dressed and so presentable. So what? And that means it's okay to be a cheat and a liar and a... Well, isn't it true that he's always ready to do a favor? I'm telling you, the guy's always ready to do a favor. You can't say, yeah, I hate him. He's always ready to do a favor. You say he's only doing the favor to get the knife into your back. Yeah? You can't hate virtue. You can only hate faults. You can't love faults. You can only love virtue. So if you know this, then the art of love is to see and discern and appreciate virtues in all humanity, because everybody's full of virtues. Human beings are gorgeous. You just got to find out how to see it and appreciate it.